Sure. I'm blessed with two daughters. Alexandra is 21, we call her Sasha, and she's a student in DCU. And my second daughter is Sophia, and she's 17, and she is doing her leaving certificate this year in Dundalk. They're very different. Sasha is very musical and intellectual, and Sophia is very into her sports and horse riding and hockey and football. So they're very different girls, but they're my life and I adore them. No, I don't think so. They might tell you differently. No, I don't believe in being overly strict. I'm actually quite a liberal, easygoing mom. And I think they would agree with that. I'm probably more easygoing than a lot of their friends' parents would be, because that's the way I was raised. Both my parents worked when I was young, so we were kind of free to do whatever we wanted, and I kind of like that idea for my kids. I don't like to put too many boundaries on them. I like them to think about what they do, take responsibility for what they do, and then if it goes wrong, they have to deal with the consequences, and hopefully those consequences aren't too serious. Well, the first thing is I'd be very happy that they came to me. That's the most important thing. I think if your kids are talking to you, you've done something right. It's when your kids aren't talking to you that you have to worry. So if they came to me with a problem, I would always listen. If I didn't agree with their course of action, I would maybe suggest some alternatives for them to think about, but I try not to be too prescriptive. I would try to get them to think about the solution themselves. Again, this is kind of my ethos of slightly liberal parenting. You get the child to take responsibility and to think about the outcomes of their own decisions. I probably wouldn't be a big fan of traditional punishment. Again, if there's an issue, communication is key. There have been instances where my daughters have done things that they shouldn't have, and if it affects anybody else, I'd make sure that they went and apologized. So they'd have to be accountable for what they've done. I wouldn't be big on grounding kids or taking their phone away from them. I'd be more in favor of discussing the problem, the impact of what they did, getting them to really reflect on the problem rather than punishment, because I think if you issue punishment, they just focus on the punishment. They don't actually think about what it is they did wrong in the first place. So, but I do shout from time to time, you know, I do get angry at them occasionally, but it's quite rare. I had my first daughter when I was still working for a US multinational company. And I was traveling to the States a lot, so I had to have somebody live in to help me with my first daughter. And we're very lucky that she stayed with us for many years. In fact, she still works with me now. With my second daughter, I had already started my own business, so I didn't have much time off. I think I had about 2 weeks after I had her. So that was quite challenging, but if you have your own business, you have to sacrifice some things, and unfortunately, I didn't get a lot of maternity leave with my second daughter. But I don't think it did them much harm. I think they're still good. It's not that normal. Most people in Ireland struggle with childcare to some extent. A lot of people would put their children into creches, which are like supervised play schools for children down to very young ages. And then also a lot of people would send them to childminders, who are ladies who mind children in their own homes. And then other people depend on their parents, their mother-in-laws, to the more traditional methods of childcare. So I was very lucky, but I was living in Dublin. I didn't have family nearby, so I needed something that was going to fit the needs that I had at the time. That would be very rare. That wouldn't really happen here. It wouldn't be usual for parents to leave the grandchildren with the parents and then go off to another city. I'm aware that happens in China, but it doesn't happen so much in Ireland. That would be very unusual. I think it's because in Ireland there's the Irish government really do try and have a life-work balance. We have a standard 39-40 hour working week here, so it does give, and Ireland's a small country, so it's not very big. You don't have to travel very far to go to work. So people generally have the opportunity to travel to work, come home, and they can look after their children at home. I think grandparents have always spoilt their grandchildren a little bit, and that's why the parents come in and pick up the pieces after they've been to visit the granny. But in terms of love and support, it's critical that it comes from somewhere, so it doesn't matter where it comes from, but they must have that affection. So I definitely don't think it's a problem that grandparents spoil their grandkids. I think it's a good thing. They need that. You need to be the kind of cool mom who knows everything that's going on in their lives.
Nice.
Oh, I think that it's important to let kids grow up to be who they want to be. The only thing I want from my girls is that they be happy, first of all, that they have good mental health, and that they be successful in whatever it is they decide to do. So I don't have any preconceptions about what they should do. I don't tell them what they should do, but the important things to me would be that they treat people well, that they're kind, and that they have a strong work ethic. So whatever they do, they put their 100% to it, they work hard, and hopefully that will be enough for them to become good citizens in the future. I think being a parent is the most important role in my life, 100%. Business is business, money is money, but it's family that make you happy. And so I see my most important role as being a parent and a good parent, the best parent I can be.